So first of all, everything we're going to do is full intensity and max outputs. Now that's made easier by the fact that our work that we're going to do will be in segments of 5 seconds. Only 5 seconds. We're going to do 10 and 10. 10 speed drills in 10 minutes. That means a 5-second speed drill followed by 55 seconds of rest. That's a 1:11 work to rest ratio. Hopefully you're thinking, damn, I could do that. And then you're going to do 2 sprints. Now, I would love to see you have a free lap timing machine and do flies and convert to miles per hour, but most people will not have that. So what I'm going to tell you is this: do 2 40-yard dashes. Mark it out in your street, parking lot. If you can get to an indoor track, an outdoor track, wherever you can find a place where you can sprint 40 yards. And it's 10 times better if you sprint that 40 yards and get timed. We're going to do 2 of them. We're going to separate them by 5 minutes of rest. So 10 drills in 10 minutes, and then 2 40-yard dashes separated by 5 minutes of rest. Why don't we go shorter rest? Well, we want to be as fast as possible on that second 40-yard dash. So we're going to start off with 3 what I call front side drills. Front side means we're bigger in the front than we are in the back. The old Carl Lewis pose. We want to be as tall as possible, and we want that back hand, we want to have real loose shoulders so that our back hand has a full range of motion and ends up about 12 inches past our hip. So we're going to start off with what we call a fast march. We're going to pick up our knees, and our foot's going to be out in front of the body, just like you see in this picture right here. We are going to use the cue. We want to be snappy in our movements, and we want to stomp the ground. Stomp, stomp, stomp. That looks just like running, except for it's a march. Really what sprinting really is a fast march. Then we're going to do A-skips. Once again, it looks like the exact same thing. We're going to be big in the front. Knee high. We have our thigh forms almost like a tabletop that's parallel to the track. Our foot is under our knee. We're running with good height and full arms. We're very snappy in our movements. We're going to do this for 5 seconds and then rest for 55 seconds. Then we're going to do high knees. It looks like the exact. See, all 3 of these things are what we call front side exercises, where we try to get big in the front without being long in the back. Snappy movements, we're tall, our shoulders are loose. We do that for 5 seconds. That was about 3 seconds there, but we want to extend it for about 5. Next, we're going to do 3 bouncy things, 3 plyometrics. First thing we're going to do, we're going to imagine that we have some plyo boxes in front of us, like 5 of them, and we're going to jump high, like we're going to jump over a high box, and then we're going to bounce off the ground. We're not going to land, gather ourselves, jump again. We are going to bounce. Bounce, bounce. By the way, fast guys are really good at this. Slow guys are terrible. So what should the average athlete work on? They should work on things that fast guys are good at. By the way, you need to go over at least 5 boxes here. 5 boxes will take about 5 seconds. Next, we're going to do bounding. The cue here is that we want to cover a lot of ground, but not by just taking big steps. We want a tabletop thigh, and we want to jump up and out at about a 45-degree angle and pose in the air. This is in slow motion, so you can see that 45-degree angle of the front thigh. We're covering tons of ground, and we look like sprinters. They're not just long steps. The third plyometric is very similar to the box jumps, except for now we are not going to bend our knees. We're not going to bring our knees up to our chest. like we did in the box jumps. We're going to jump like we're on a pogo stick, where our knees are almost fixed. There's just a little bit of movement in the knees, lots of help with the arms. Once again, only fast people can get off the ground that high. So if you're an average athlete, what do you want to do? You want to become more like a fast athlete. Next, we're going to have 3 exercises. We've accomplished 6 so far, 6 in 6 minutes. Now we have 3 more exercises. We call these prime times because just like Deion Sanders would do when he return a punt for a touchdown or interception for a touchdown, he would straight-legged kick his feet out in front of him, and it looks kind of like this. The first one, though, was actually short prime times, where we're taking like 12-inch steps, but super frequent. Straight legs, super frequent, about 12 to 18 inches per step. We do it for about 5 seconds, then we rest for the rest of the minute. Now we're going to go big prime times. Now we're going to really race down the track because we're going to be straight-legged, but get a lot longer stride length. That'll look good. Now, the third thing we do is we do the exact same thing, except for we're not straight-legged anymore. We are bent-kneed. Everything's still in front of us. Nothing's behind us. I'll show you that again. That's kind of quick. We are not straight-legged. We are bent-kneed doing those prime times. Once again, we're just kind of demoing here. That probably took about 3 seconds. We want to go hard for about 5. The last thing we're going to do is accelerate. So we start with all of our weight on our front foot. You can go either left or right, but I like to talk about left. So we're going left foot forward, left hand high and back. Eyes are down. Eyes are down. We are going to split our hands and then rip through. All the while we're going to push the ground behind us. There's the split and there's the rip. Big horizontal pushes, pushing the ground behind us, and we are going to get to top speed. That's the 10th speed drill. We are done. So we have done 10 5-second drills followed by about 55 seconds of rest. That puts us at the 10-minute mark. Now we have 2 maximum speed sprints to do. So let's review the 10 and 10. Fast march, A skips, high knees. Remember, those 3 things are the front side drills. Then we go with box jumps, bounding, and pogo jumps. These are the 3 bouncy things, also called plyometrics. Then we go with the 3, these are also front side things, but we call them prime times because 2 of the 3 are straight-legged. So we have short prime times, big ones, and then we have bent knee. And then the last one is an acceleration into a sprint where we practice acceleration mechanics, a good start, a split and rip, a push, 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 and we get to top speed. And it's really important that you get to top speed here because now we're going to go into those 2 sprints. Everything will look just like the 10-meter fly. He runs it just the same, except for we're timing the whole thing instead of the last 10.